Men and women are different. Never has this been more evident than in Toastmasters in the past 3 years. I started taking notes at a meeting May 16th in our club. There were twice as many men as women. The 2 speakers were women. Our club officers are all women. And I look at it, and everybody who's proceeding up the path in Pathways are women. 7 or 8 of them. There are a couple of men participating in Pathways. Vitaly Rulov, who's a DTM already and doesn't need Pathways, speaks on whatever he wants to and calls it Pathways. And I speak about how bad Pathways is. I've progressed all the way through Visionary Communications, giving 4 speeches, which are available on YouTube, as to what an ill-conceived program it is. And now I'm almost through Engaging Communications, and I've kind of lost the fire. I haven't done anything about it for the past several months. Why this difference? As any teacher will tell you, little boys and little girls are different. Little girls color between the lines. They'll do what the teacher asks them. They want to please. Little boys, and here I speak from experience, my 8-year-old son, for instance, is enrolled in a Ukrainian school where he's studying English, but he knows English. And when they give him an assignment to do, he says, I don't want to do that. That's stupid. He won't do stupid things. And when we come to Pathways, I think that that's the attitude that the men have. We've had just as many men join as women over the past 3 years, but not a single of the new men has progressed anywhere in Pathways. They look at it and say, that's stupid, I'm not going to do it. Well, it is stupid. Even Toastmasters has abandoned it. The initial premise was, oh, we're going to do more than just public speaking. We're going to do teaching you management, teaching you leadership, teaching you interpersonal communications and self-esteem. We don't hear anything more about those for the past couple of years. It turns out that the Toastmasters program was ill-suited to teaching any of those things. Couldn't even pretend, and they no longer pretend to. But it's all wrapped up in the Pathways stuff. So we wind up giving inane speeches on my leadership style, or finding my communication style, or mentoring in Pathways. All of which are nonsense. They're nonsense the first time through. They're nonsense when you hear it from everybody, looking for something original to say about my mentoring style or something. And they're absolute nonsense on stilts, when the same person has to give it a second time, as I've had to do in Engaging Humor. I just ain't doing it. What I've done in Engaging Humor is attempted to give humorous speeches. Unfortunately, the Engaging Humor path doesn't ask me to try to give humorous speeches. Now it asks me to talk about how wonderful humor is in a speech. It doesn't say a word about how you might deliver a humorous speech. It's absurd. Well, as I say, the men ain't doing it. I think that's a problem for Toastmasters. The women and men in Toastmasters used to be more or less equal. As a matter of fact, people come to Toastmasters. It's a great place for young people to meet each other, ambitious people and dedicated to self-improvement, to learn speaking skills and to meet one another. And we've had a lot of people meet and marry through our club. Masha and Dima, Yuri and Paulina, Veri and Vitaly, and me and Oksana. Well, if the men ain't coming, the women may feel an initial flush of gratification. Oh, we can fill all the leadership roles. We can take all the roles on the agenda. But that will fade quickly when they say, there aren't any guys here. It's a pretty hollow success. I don't think that they'll last. Well, Toastmasters had a great program for 100 years. Most successful public speaking program going. But if it's no longer interesting, if they don't let people talk about things that are interesting to them, if they keep dictating that you talk on inane topics and the men go away, I don't think that the women will stick around. I don't think that Toastmasters has another 100 years in it. I don't think it has another 10 years in it if they stick with Pathways. Come on, guys, let's get back with what we do well. Public speaking. Gestures, vocal variety, organization, visual aids. The stuff that we used to teach so well. Let's regain our focus and get back to public speaking.